Golf is an entertaining sport on its own, but those of you that hate walking around for hours in the blazing sun are going to be thrilled about today's news. The UK Longdrive Championship is back with a bang, and this time they have a twist up their sleeve. Watch this video to find out how they are amping up the competition this year. First up, what's the update? The UK Longdrive Championship is determined to make the sport as big as possible, and they are not holding back. This year, they're bringing the sport indoors. That's right, you'll be able to hit as hard as you can without going to an actual golf course. This feat was made possible by their partnership with Trackman. The virtual stimulator will measure the player's speed and angle to accurately determine whose shot went the furthest. Wow, the future really is now. Trackman will set up 35 venues across the UK for players to play in. Starting October 13th, any man or woman willing to compete can try their luck at the qualifying rounds. This year, though, they are adding pressure. They are introducing knockout rounds to make the competition more intense. The top qualifiers from the local events will get to compete in the regionals, and the winners of the regionals will get a place in the finals. Geez, that's a lot of effort to get to a final. But they assure us it'll be worth it. The final will be televised with a live audience. On top of that, the winners of the local and regional categories will also get cash prizes. Nothing like the cash prizes at LIV Golf, but good enough for a sport trying to make its name. So what are you waiting for? Grab your buddies, it's time to go hit some balls. Next up, what are the rules? Longdrive events are known to be wild. There are fireworks, loud music, and screaming fans, not like a typical golf event at all. You can play a Longdrive match with pretty much any rules, but if you want to participate in the Longdrive UK Championship, there are some rules you need to keep in mind. But don't worry, they are not like the stifling rules of normal golf. First, each player has 3 minutes to hit 6 balls as far as they can. Each ball must land in the range within the grid, so you still need to aim. You can't just hit the ball blindly. Still, the precision required for it is much less than golf. Also, you can't use specialized golf clubs. If you want to hit the ball 400 plus yards, you'll have to do it with your own strength. The World Long Drive Association limits the drivers to have a maximum 48-inch shaft and a 460cc club head. Though most golfers also use a 45 or 45.5-inch shaft, the few extra inches give the drivers all the power they need to send the ball soaring. The one thing constant in all types of competitions is the balls. Everyone plays with the standard Volvic golf balls. Yep, that's right, the balls are the same weight too. Then how on earth do long drivers manage to send their ball so far? Well, as with golf, it's all in the technique. Accuracy isn't important, so they hit the ball with the sole intention of letting it fly. Hit it the right way, it goes distances golfers didn't know were possible. Coming up, how do they do it? Now we feel intrigued to go watch a UK long drive event just to see how far the ball goes. If you want to become a pro, we've got you covered. Here are a few basic things you can do to start hitting like a long driver. But remember, practice and patience are the keys to success. Hitting aggressively is awkward for many golfers, but trust us, you just have to get the hang of it. The first thing you should do is get a wide base setup. A perfect base setup improves your practice dramatically. You can hit more freely and comfortably. The second thing is to get a good stretching routine and stick to it. Long drivers need to be flexible and they exert a lot of energy. So stretch before getting yourself in the zone. Third, start tittling your spine to get an upward hitting angle. Sending the ball at the right angle is crucial in getting it to land as far as possible. Train your back to bend a little and give you that perfect angle. Put on some stretching videos as soon as you finish this video. It's time to get working. Fourth, start speed training with light and heavy clubs. This will make you the pro that you'll want to become. Fifth, make sure that it's wide early on the backswing. That's what makes the ball go beyond the normal limit. Finally, use a launch monitor to track your progress and look at your stats. Just keep at it, champ. Happy hitting. Also, the greats. We're not kidding when we say the long drivers hit monster drives. They really are in a league of their own. If you want to learn a thing or two, look up the greats in the game. While as per the PGA Tour, the average golfer hits around 300 yards. The WLD Association reports that the average length of a drive is 356 yards, and that's excluding all the 400-plus drives that people routinely hit. The champs can hit as much as 450-plus away as well. Now that's power. Mike Dobbin is credited with the longest drive ever. His record stands at 551 yards. We're sorry, what? He had to do a double take when he saw that number. The man drove the average par 5 in a single shot. Don't forget, the man is a staggering 6 foot 8 inches and weighs more than 300 pounds. Well, now it all makes sense. Is that you, Hercules? In 1992, there was another record made, this time for the longest drive. Carl Cooper hit a ball and it landed on the cart path. From there, it kept rolling on for almost 800 yards, but this is all unofficial since it wasn't remotely close to a hole. The poor man got a double bogey instead. Don't worry, we remember you, Carl. The record for the most titles ever goes to Jason Zubak. He won 4 back-to-back titles from 1996 to 1999. Wait a minute, long drive championships were happening in the 90s? Well, the game is older than you think. Not to mention, you and me got a lot of history. Long drive started as an event with the PGA Tour. Players would get the Best Long Driver award initially. Then in 1974, it spun off into a separate tournament. They got sponsors and more players. It became its sport in a way. The home of the long drive was Mesquite in Nevada for a long time, but eventually it moved to Oklahoma in 2015. Since then, they've grown bigger and bigger. In 2018, the total purse was $400,000 at an event. The winner got $150,000, but for some reason, nobody got paid. This is one of the biggest scandals of the game, but that's a story for another time. Maybe stick around for another video on it. In 2019, the World Long Drive Championship had a total purse of $270,000 and the winner got a whopping $125,000 award. And this time, everyone got paid. As we said, it's not LIV golf, but it's good enough. COVID-19 nearly ended the sport. They didn't have enough funds to sustain themselves, and in 2021, one of the biggest long driver courses was shut down. But now, UK Long Drive is reviving the game, and we're ready for it. Plus, it's so much more fun. It's just a party with big dudes gathering around to see who hits the ball harder, and everyone cheers. What's not to like? Lastly, maybe rein it in. On the other side, monster long drives are becoming a problem. The golfers do not need to let the ball rip through the air. They want to rein it in. With the ball going too far for comfort, critics have been giving multiple solutions to the problem. You could make the driver's head smaller, or you can change the shape of the ball. These are the two most proposed solutions. But Scott Hand thinks we're missing a big obvious one. He says just get rid of drivers altogether. Tell players they can't tee up with drivers and that's it. Problem solved. How could the critics have missed this ingenious and obvious solution? We'll never know. Though Scott was only joking about chucking drivers out, Sir Faldo isn't. It turns out he suggested this years ago, but it was shot down. He thinks that players won't be able to hit a 300 easily without their trusty driver heads, and we think he may be right. Other clubs just don't have the same power. To be fair, players like Woods and DeChambeau will still hit the ball far, but the point is to bring down the average, at least making it a challenge to get a ball flying. Though it's unlikely that this solution will ever happen soon, there's still hope. Do you think this solution can work? Well, that's it for today's video. Will you be joining the UK Long Drive Championship? Let us know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with another video soon.